Hi, I'm Caitlyn Miner, and I'm here to tell you about the well-known artist Vincent van Gogh, a man whose popularity could easily be debated over his paintings and artwork, or the suggestion that he possibly cut off his own ear. Van Gogh is special to me because I have written several papers on him and have studied his life in depth. Most people, whether they realize it or not, have seen some of his paintings, probably paintings such as Starry Night or his self-portrait. While most people have seen some of his artwork, even fewer people know about how interesting and tragic the life of Vincent van Gogh truly was. Over the next few minutes, I will share with you some key points on his life, such as his early years as a child and a schoolboy, his multiple jobs which led to his inspiration of art, and his later years in which he truly began to flourish as an artist. According to Albert Lubin in his paper Vincent van Gogh, Van Gogh was born on March 30th of 1853 to Anna Cornelia Carbentus and Theodore van Gogh in Breda in the Netherlands. He was the eldest of 5 siblings. In 1861, Van Gogh, along with his sister Anna, were homeschooled for 4 years by a governess. Once his homeschooling was over, he attended a boarding school, and in 1866, Van Gogh attended Willem II College, where he studied drawing and art appreciation. There, he also learned to speak fluent in English, French, and German. Sadly, because of loneliness and homesickness, in 1868, he left and returned home. In Vincent van Gogh, a paper by David Brooks, he tells us that Vincent van Gogh had a variety of different jobs, and in 1869, at the age of 15, he was hired at Goupil de Sierre, which was a local art dealership, by his uncle Vincent. He worked as an apprentice, and he also worked there for 7 years, and his love for art really began to become true. Unfortunately, he was terminated because of a failed relationship with a girl, which caused him to lose focus on his job. After his termination, Van Gogh began to work at the church. He became a religious fanatic and worked as a supply teacher for no charge. He gradually worked his way up to becoming a minister's assistant. After his minister's assistant was through, in 1869, Van Gogh became a missionary in Petit-Waudemer, which was a small mining town that was drenched in poverty. Because of the poor circumstances and how Van Gogh could not understand how God would allow some circumstances to befall upon people, his faith began to deteriorate. Instead of preaching, he would paint the miners. He began to paint more and more, and at the same time he began to delve into a deep depression. Douglas Druitt, who wrote Vincent van Gogh, says that his later years were artistically his best and mentally his worst. He was admitted to multiple insane asylums over the years, primarily St. Paul de Massol, in which he rented a room. There he painted the majority of his 900-plus paintings and 1,200-plus sketches. One thing that is well known and associated with Vincent van Gogh is the suggestion that he cut off his own ear in a rage of madness and gave it to a local prostitute named Rachel. But, according to Angelique Chrysophorus, recently 2 German historians who remain nameless say that that is not the case at all. They believe that Vincent van Gogh lost his ear in a duel with another artist fighting over Rachel, that very prostitute in which he gave his ear to. Doctors credit his artistic brilliance that they believe was stemmed from bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, epilepsy, and hallucinations. And sadly, on July 27th of 1890, while walking home alone, Vincent van Gogh pulled out a pistol and shot himself in the chest. He was able to stagger home, where he was met by his brother, who quickly called the doctors. They were able to remove the bullet. He lived for 2 more days and died in his bed smoking a pipe. His last words were, "The sadness will last forever." Overall, the life of Vincent van Gogh was truly a tragedy. His early years were filled with sadness and loneliness, even through school. His jobs, although good, helped shape his future, even though he was sadly depressed at the time as well. And his later years were artistically his best and mentally his worst, as quoted by Douglas Druitt. Even today, Vincent van Gogh plays a major artistic inspiration. Several museums have been opened in his honor, and even some musicians have written songs about him, such as Don McLean's Vincent. It just goes to show that there's more behind the man than just his paintings. The life of Vincent van Gogh, yet tragic, was also fascinating at the same time. Even today, Vincent van Gogh is still alive through his art.